Sometime in the future, a spaceship from Earth will explore the far reaches of our galaxy, billions of miles from home. These pioneering spacefarers will be on the ultimate voyage, to encounter new planets around distant stars. Theirs will be a journey into the extreme. On distant planets are incandescent storms big enough to swallow the Earth. Bolts of lightning thousands of miles long. Raging infernos of toxic gas. Inconceivable violence and terrifying extremes. These are the planets from hell. Our sun is only one of 200 billion stars that make up our galaxy, the Milky Way. Like our sun, each star could be orbited by its own system of planets. Today, astronomers are piecing together incredible new evidence in the search for distant worlds. Theirs is the ultimate scientific quest. They are the planet hunters. Now a race is on to find what planets lie beyond our solar system. Will they all be planets from hell, or could any of them be like Earth? Hawaii, where astronomers head to gain an unparalleled view of the heavens. On top of the 14,000-foot-high summit of Mauna Kea, high above the obscuring clouds, stand the two mighty Keck telescopes.
Well, there she blows. The two Kecks.
Home sweet home.
It's great to be here.
Inside these enormous twin domes are the biggest and most powerful telescopes in the world. So powerful, they could see a candle flame on the moon. Each of the two telescopes has a vast mirror over 30 feet across, essential for capturing the faintest starlight. This is the hunting ground of the world's most successful planet hunting team. And king of the planet hunters is Jeff Marcy.
I think the most important thing we're learning here in our search for planets around other stars is we're learning about how our solar system fits in to the grand cosmic scheme of planetary systems. Is our solar system unique, special, or is it some common run-of-the-mill type of planetary system?
Marcy and fellow astronomer Paul Butler use the Keck telescopes to hunt for planets billions of miles from Earth. But even with the power of the world's most advanced technology, a planet circling a distant star is too small and too faint to be seen directly. Instead, they have perfected an ingenious technique to find these invisible worlds.
Finding planets in principle is actually easy. We watch the star itself and look for the planet, which we actually can't see at all. It's blocked out by the glare of the star. So we watch the star itself to see if it wobbles in space due to the gravitational pull on the star by the planet. So we're simply watching to see if stars are stationary or wobbling.
When a planet orbits a star, its gravitational force will pull the star off-center, making it wobble from side to side. The largest planet in our solar system is Jupiter. It's so vast it could swallow 1,300 Earths. 500 million miles out from the Sun. It takes 12 years to complete each orbit. As it travels round, Jupiter pulls our Sun off-center by as much as 500,000 miles. The planet hunters believed that if they could find another star performing the same cosmic dance as the Sun, then it too would be orbited by a Jupiter-sized planet. Marcy and Butler began their search in 1987. They chose 100 of our closest stars, many visible in the night sky in familiar constellations. The two astronomers were convinced they'd soon find a wobbling star and detect their first planet.
We honestly thought in 1987 we were going to go to the telescope and boom, that we were pretty quickly going to figure out how to find planets, that we were very quickly going to do as well as anybody in the world. And in fact, we found out the problem was so much harder than that.
For year after year, they could find no sign of the wobble they had expected. They began to doubt if there were any planets out there at all.
It was an extraordinarily trying and depressing time. Day after day, coming into the office, leaving at the end of the day, realizing that we did not yet have the ability to detect planets. I was worried that we were wasting telescope time and, frankly, wasting our whole lives.
Then, in 1995, came a breakthrough, but not from Marcy and Butler. Half a world away, a rival Swiss team of planet hunters was working in southern France. One of them was Didier Queloz. He was still a student studying for his PhD. Like the Americans, Queloz was sure that planets must exist throughout the galaxy.
I was pretty much convinced that there are planets there. Yes. You know, in science, you never really start something if you don't think that you will find something. We're not crazy. We were pretty much convinced that there were planets. That's why we decided to look for them.
At the telescope in Provence, Queloz searched for wobbles in stars that had been overlooked by other astronomers. 300 trillion miles from Earth, in the constellation of Pegasus, is one of the stars he was observing. Visible to the naked eye is 51 Pegasi, called 51 Peg for short. Even traveling at 186,000 miles per second, the light from this star has taken nearly 50 years to reach Earth. After just a few weeks of measurements, Queloz found the first hint that 51 Peg was wobbling. But the way the star was moving was very different from anything anyone had expected.
I was very puzzled, and I really thought, oh my God, something is very wrong with the instrument.
The rapid movement that Queloz recorded suggested that something was orbiting 51 Peg inconceivably fast. The astronomers had all been looking for a planet like our own Jupiter that would take many years to orbit its star. Here was something entirely different. The planet that was orbiting 51 Peg was almost the size of our own Jupiter. But the big surprise was the length of its orbit. Rather than orbiting every 12 years, it was racing round in less than a week. After double-checking his wobble data, Kello knew there could be no doubt.
The only phenomena, or the only interpretation we are left with is a planet. There is no other way to explain what we're seeing except that being due to a planet. And that's the beginning of the whole story.
The news of the discovery of the first planet beyond our solar system reverberated round the world. Marcy and Butler swung their telescopes onto 51 Peg and independently confirmed the discovery.
We were so shocked that we didn't believe it was a planet at first, and we had to go to the telescope ourselves to confirm it. And the reason it was a shock was that this planet goes around the star 51 Pegasi, taking only 4 days.
I wish I could say that I was so clever, that I had such great imagination that I would have envisioned such a thing. We were expecting that the planets that we were going to find were going to have orbital periods of like 10 years or 20 years, like Jupiter and Saturn. 4-day orbits, no, that was off scale. That was completely inconceivable.
Not only was the planet orbiting fast, but it was orbiting just 4 million miles away from the star. No one had ever dreamt that a planet could exist so terrifyingly close to the fiery surface of a star.
It's Viewer's Choice July on TLC.
Oh my God! Oh!
Vote for your favorite Trading Spaces episodes. Then watch every Saturday night in July to see the winners. Go to Discovery.com and click on TLC.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
If your car's got a dirty air filter, it's robbing your horsepower and killing your gas mileage. Get to AutoZone and replace your air filter today. Get in the zone.
AutoZone.
I want to thank you guys for coming out. Oh, Jamie, why don't you tell us what's new in IT? Gotta keep it short.
Oh, well, we just implemented DFS and a new SAN. And also we enabled shadow copy for shared folders on our file servers. It enables users to get back lost documents on their own without calling IT. It'll save us hundreds of thousands of dollars, which...
It'll do what?
With new Windows Server 2003, you can do more with less.
Automated system recovery.
Behind him is a 400-square-foot deluxe bachelor with a partial view. In front of him is a junior executive semi-private with no view. But right now, life is perfect. On the open road, in complete control of an Acura RSX. One of Car and Driver's 10 best.
The first major advance for the fastest treatment of athlete's foot is Lamisil AT. Lamisil AT is the first non-prescription medicine proven to kill the fungus with just 1 week's use. Not even a prescription can beat that. Lotrimin AF and Tinactin still expect you to treat for 4 weeks. Who's going to do that? When your feet itch and burn, using Lamisil AT 1 week keeps you athlete's foot free 3 months. Lamisil AT. There's no better way to cure athlete's foot.
Faster than the speed of sound. More powerful than 262 Porsche 911s. Able to travel from LA to New York and back in less than 30 minutes. From the land and sky, these lightning-quick vehicles unite, forming the ultimate 10-speed machines. Catch them if you can, next Wednesday at 10, only on TLC.
have proven themselves by winning more awards than any other brand of 4x4.
Now let us prove they're the best values in America.
During the Jeep Summer Sales Drive, where you'll get great deals on Jeep vehicles, like Wrangler Rubicon, the most capable Jeep vehicle ever, and Liberty, the best-selling vehicle in its class.
Get 0% financing for 60 months or big cash allowances, plus a 7-year, 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty on every one, including Grand Cherokee.
Let us prove we've got the best values in America. Hurry to your Jeep dealer today.
Chevy Impala sedan. No brag, just fact. Fact. It has a standard 3400 V6 with best-in-class highway fuel economy. Fact. More stretch-out comfort than Camry or Accord sedan. Want something to brag about? Get an Impala with 0% APR for 60 months or choose $3,500 cash back. See your Central Mississippi Chevy dealer today.
Doug and Genevieve are cooking up the catch of the day, but the competition is fierce.
Eat that, Doug. Do you think Doug could ever do as good a job as we do?
No. See who survives the battle. Tune in Saturday at 9, only on TLC.
In their search to find a distant world like our own, the planet hunters had found the universe to be far more frightening and hostile than they'd ever imagined. With the discovery of the first planet orbiting the star 51 Peg, they had stumbled across a world of violent extremes. The American team returned to their old data to see if they had missed other fast-orbiting planets.
Here we were realizing for the first time that there might be planets that took only a few weeks or months to go around their star, and it's like finding a gold vein in a mine. We now knew where to look for the planets. Some of them might be in fairly close. And we looked, and sure enough, we found dozens of them.
A disturbing trend began to emerge. Many of the stars in our galaxy have giant, super-hot planets in close, fast orbits. One planet, 170 times bigger than Earth, races round its star in just 3 days, the quickest ever found. Another is 1,100 times larger than Earth, but orbits 8 times closer. And the surface of the hottest planet ever found is scorched at more than 1,200 degrees Celsius. It was a mystery how such large planets could be orbiting so fast and so close. How did they fit into the astronomers' traditional theories of the way planetary systems are formed? On the west coast of America, one man who thought he had the answer was Professor Doug Lin.
The general reaction at that time was that there's got to be a mistake in the data, in the interpretation of the data. This could not be due to a planet because it looks so different from our own solar system.
Orbiting close to our sun are 4 small rocky planets, including the Earth. Beyond them, hundreds of millions of miles out, lie the gas giants. Jupiter, larger than all the other planets put together, is made almost entirely of hydrogen and helium. And Saturn, 800 times the size of the Earth, is mostly hydrogen. Based on this pattern, the astronomers have built a theory of how planetary systems are born and how they evolve. They believe young protoplanets are created from a giant spinning disk of gas and dust that swirls around the nuclear fires of a newborn star. Over millions of years, the fine grains of dust cluster together. Their gravity grows and attracts more material until a planet is formed. The lighter elements, such as hydrogen and helium, are blown to the edge of the disk, where they collect to form giant gas planets. The heavier substances, silica and iron, remain close to the star, where they eventually form small, rocky planets. This was a theory that couldn't explain the presence of a gas giant so close to a star like 51 Peg.
I feel that there's not enough time in the day for me to work on all these problems. The discoveries are coming in an incredible pace. And we need to, as a theorist, we need to come up with new theories, develop new theory to account for all of these observations. This is a theorist's heaven. In fact, it is a golden age of astronomy.
Lin soon realized a radical idea was needed to explain the existence of the gas giants in close orbits. He used a computer to construct a new mathematical model of how large planets grow and evolve from a spinning disk of gas and dust.
I worked very quickly to develop a theory to account for how these planets may have formed at very far away from the star and then gradually migrate to the neighborhood of the star.
Lin's breakthrough was to realize that a giant planet could be born far from its parent star and then spiral inwards, finishing in a tight circular orbit. But Lin's theory dashed any hopes that stars like 51 Peg might also harbor small, rocky, Earth-like planets. If any of these young proto-planets had existed, they would have been bulldozed into oblivion as the gas giant spiraled in toward the star. The star 51 Peg and its newly discovered planet lie an almost unimaginable distance from Earth. Today's fastest space probes would take 500,000 years to get there. But if, thousands of years into the future, an interstellar spaceship on a scientific mission reached 51 Peg, what would it find? Physicist Andrew Collier Cameron thinks he knows the kinds of conditions we could expect to find. Far ahead of any interstellar probe, he's using spectral analysis of distant starlight to understand what these gas giants are made of.
Every once in a while in astronomy, a new phenomenon is discovered which you can't actually see. It all begins with an act of imagination. You have to imagine what it would be like on this world, and then you use science to flesh in the numbers, the temperatures, the pressures, the kinds of material that are likely to be present, and eventually you finish up with a complex picture of what the atmosphere of a planet might be like, even before you've seen it.
Collier Cameron is trying to confirm preliminary observations that some of these gas giants have atmospheres containing sodium and potassium. And the atmosphere of any planet so close to its star must be superheated. In this inferno, even solid metal would be vaporized.
Here on Earth, we think of most metals as being solids. However, you can imagine that if you heated the Earth up to, say, 1100 Celsius, some metals would melt and boil, and they would then become gases in the atmosphere. And this is the situation that we have. It's so hot that some of the metals exist in the atmosphere as gases.
With such extreme conditions, the planet orbiting 51 Peg would challenge any mission, even with the most advanced technology.
On While You Were Out, Grandma's gone and we're turning her bland backyard into an Art Deco oasis.
Do you have a backup plan? Do I have a backup plan?
But will the change take her to paradise? Then, Blue 52! Blue 52! Set! Decorate! Will Lisa's game plan score a touchdown and make her hubby happy?
What the hell is this? Honey, what is going on?
Find out Friday at 8, only on TLC.
Raise the roof! Beer is here! Come on, everybody, and grab it! Come on! Give me some skin!
eServer.
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 eServer. These are not normal servers.
They're better than that. They adjust and predict.
So you'll never see rats.
For systems like Linux and other types, too.
They love open standards. No kidding, it's true.
For big firms and small firms.
And those in the middle.
eServer's the answer to your business riddle.
They're flexible, bendable,
super reliable,
utterly viable.
Give them a triable.
IBM eServer X Series features the Intel Xeon processor.
Get in the zone! AutoZone!
If your car's got a dirty air filter, it's robbing your horsepower and killing your gas mileage. Get to AutoZone and replace your air filter today. Get in the zone.
AutoZone!
Presenting an advance in healing, Dermabond Surgical Adhesive, Liquid Stitches. From Ethicon, a Johnson & Johnson company. With Dermabond Liquid Stitches, doctors can eliminate the pain and anxiety of traditional stitches. Yet Dermabond closes wounds as effectively. Dermabond is even used in operating rooms. It may not be appropriate for all wounds, such as those on eyes, mouth, scalp, and joints, or for people with certain sensitivities. Ask the emergency room doctor if Dermabond Liquid Stitches is right for you.
Faster than the speed of sound. More powerful than 262 Porsche 911s. Able to travel from LA to New York and back in less than 30 minutes. From the land and sky, these vehicles unite, forming the ultimate 10-speed machines. Catch them next Wednesday at 10, only on TLC.
Sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at mbusa.com.
I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. I've got that string around my little finger. What a world, what a life. Ooh,
Perhaps you've noticed a lot of people with strings around their fingers. It's simply a reminder that the Mercedes-Benz summer event is going on now. Visit your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. 2.9% financing is available for a limited time on all new 2003 M-Class models, with optional seating capacity for up to 7 people.
Dr. Kravitz, you have a visitor in the main hall. Dr. Kravitz, a visitor in the main hall.
Quite enough excitement for one day. This will help you relax.
on the next Trading Spaces family. It's much ado about everything when two North Carolina families take center stage for their very own decorating drama.
Is that cool?
Yep. Gotta put your pedal to the metal.
Look at that. It's like you're 7 feet tall.
Oh, man.
Don't miss an all-new Trading Spaces family, Sunday at 7 on TLC.
On its scientific mission, the interstellar spaceship finally reaches its destination, the planet orbiting 51 Peg. The gravitational grip of the star is so great that one side of the planet permanently faces the searing heat with temperatures well over 1,000 degrees Celsius. The far side freezes in permanent darkness. The spaceship dispatches a probe down into the atmosphere. It enters a maelstrom of superheated, noxious gases, where winds top 1,000 miles an hour. The probe is bombarded by lethal radiation. Poisonous clouds of methane, sodium, and potassium envelop the probe. Giant bolts of lightning, up to 1,000 miles long, strike all around it. The probe plummets down through a hailstorm of rock particles. Down here, nothing can survive. Until 1995, the idea of finding other planets was pure science fiction. Now, astronomers have found more than 70 planets orbiting other stars. Some 10 times the size of Jupiter. Others with magnetic fields 1,000 times stronger than anything on Earth. And some are so close to their star, they are literally evaporating. But the astronomers were still no closer to answering the biggest question of all. Is there another planet like Earth?
For me, it will be the most exciting discovery of all. Because why are we doing this? Why should anybody care whether there are planets around other stars? Well, ultimately, we humans care about the Earth, and we would like to know whether there are other solar systems that harbor Earth-like planets.
The astronomers needed to find a solar system that resembled our own, where small, rocky planets had a chance of survival. In California, a colleague of Jeff Marcy and Paul Butler is planet hunter Deborah Fisher. Her driving ambition is to find a planetary system like our own. She is convinced that we're on the verge of discovering a planet where humans could survive.
Now we begin a new era, I think, of finding systems that are much more like our own. And I think that the first 70 planet discoveries that have been made over the last 5 years probably don't represent the planet discoveries that are going to be made in the next 5 years.
Fisher monitors her stars from the Lick Observatory, just south of San Francisco on Mount Hamilton. After years of searching, her dedication was about to pay off. One of the stars Fisher had been monitoring was Upsilon Andromedae. As she analyzed the faint starlight, Fisher's equipment registered that the star was wobbling, but in an unusual way. She calculated that there must be more than one planet out there, but even two planets couldn't fully explain the complex motion. The star was moving in a way no one had ever seen before.
For some people, it's take, take, take. First, cars, boats, even homes. If you don't pay for it, repo men will get it. Then the promise of easy money leads to the world's most daring robberies. It all starts Sunday at 8, only on TLC.
Roads can curve, trails can twist, but financing should be a straight deal. It's the red hot summer at your Honda dealer. Hot deals on any new Honda and low payments that stay low. Now with zero down payment, zero payments for 3 months, 6.9% fixed APR financing for up to 60 months, and up to $300 in bonus bucks on select models. Great roads should curve, great financing shouldn't. Don't miss the red hot summer at your Honda dealer.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. If your car's got a dirty air filter, it's robbing your horsepower and killing your gas mileage. Get to AutoZone and replace your air filter today. Get in the zone.
AutoZone. We've all got our to-do list. How's yours coming along? The Home Depot has the products that can help. Call, click, or visit now and start crossing those projects off your list.
Cooling things down is a snap with the Quick Connect Huntington 3 ceiling fan by Hampton Bay. Get yours today, starting at the low price of just $64.96. Thanks to a powerful Honda engine, the 2500 PSI XL pressure washer can clean away years of mildew and dirt in minutes. Buy now and get this 4-piece $95 accessory kit free. Use the Wagner Extra Power Painter to cover large or hard-to-paint areas in half the time of a brush. Act now, and for a limited time, you'll also get a $15 Home Depot gift card free.
Just call, click, or visit your local Home Depot store now to get going on your list, so you can turn to-do into done. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.